So right off the bat, like I said, once I was diagnosed with bipolar, I started on a mood stabilizer. With bipolar type 2, I was having hypomania. Typically people will get that, 2 or 3 times a week out of a month, or 2 or 3 times a day, but they don't typically stay in the hypomania. I was in the hypomania for a good 3 years, at least. Everything, like I said, about my lifestyle was increased. My energy level, my sex drive, my appetite, my lack for need of sleep, all of that. I had been in that for quite a while. So once I started a mood stabilizer, the mood stabilizer was to bring me down from my high. I was in a constant high. So once that mood stabilizer brought me down, it kind of brought me way down. I wasn't used to being more at a, I guess, healthy level, if you want to say, where my body, was needing the 8 hours of sleep, did want to eat the 3 meals a day, wanted to just, it really brought me down to where I was just like, I really didn't know how to act, kind of. When you're in a certain stage or having episodes, to you this feels normal and this is what it is. People looking, outside in can definitely see the difference in you, but you don't necessarily notice it yourself. So once I started the mood stabilizer, that was a big adjustment for me. I actually, to myself, I thought I was boring. The fun, happy-go-lucky, careless Lisa that just wanted to, have fun and be crazy was gone. Now I kind of felt like everybody, like an everyday person. So once the mood stabilizer went into effect, and I could definitely tell a difference that I was coming down to like a normal level. That's why the doctor then started me on an antidepressant, because I really dropped down and I was starting to get depressed to where did my energy level go? Where was my sex drive? Where was my, hardly needing to eat? Like, where was the fun stuff? Where was this going? So I started on the antidepressant so I wasn't dropping down so far. I was kind of just going, even with everything. So once you start the medication, you do notice a very big difference. Like I said, starting the medication, you just don't know what level, what dosage to start on. My doctor had to start me on 25, then bumped it up to 55, then bumped it up to 75, then bumped it up to 100. Like it's kind of like a test and error type thing, like what's going to work for this person. And each time, you kind of have to give it like a couple weeks to see how this is going to affect you. Meanwhile, you're trying to start also an antidepressant. Like I said, for myself, I do only take one antidepressant, one mood stabilizer, one antidepressant, one sleep aid. I do have friends and I do know people that take multiple multiple mood stabilizers. My mood stabilizer I take once a day at night, Lamictal, and I know people that take Lamictal 3 times a day. So like I said, it's just bipolar, the different types of bipolar is so wide, and learning what's going to work for you and what medication is also just broad spectrum. You're just not for sure, but once you do start the medications, you do notice an effect and how it's affecting your behaviors. And as I said, sometimes people get depressed even over that, because for yourself, you've been having certain symptoms and you've learned for your own self to adjust to these, and now you're not having those anymore, and it's another transition, another adjustment into your life.